Geno Auriemma calls them out, calls the team immature, and then there was some criticism of Paige Bueckers, actually.
Geno Auriemma is concerned that the team's games aren't drawing crowds, even with UConn's lengthy history and Bueckers' remarkable talent. Why do they find this powerful basketball force so unimpressive? And is she really going to be the next big thing? As everyone says, Caitlin Clark is.
Now, I'm talking really, really small numbers. I'm talking 135 people in attendance. Yeah, you heard me right. 135 people in attendance to watch the number 11 team in the country face Utah State during the Daytona Beach Classic. What?
Geno Auriemma, the well-known head coach of UConn's women's basketball team, has led his teams to unprecedented success over the years and has consistently been at the forefront of the sport, as is already known.
A corner crash box out, so I'm very picky with what I'm doing right now because I'm showing the younger guys what we're supposed to do here, and so I'm just trying to lead and be an example in that.
Even while his current lineup, which includes superstar Paige Bueckers, is unquestionably talented, the Huskies recently played in front of just 500 people. Unlike Iowa's Caitlin Clark, who has swept the women's basketball globe, this stark reality has spurred a broader discussion about Bueckers' impact on and off the court.
Yesterday, in a game in the Bahamas, UConn played for 567 people. USC have had games at home in Los Angeles, in LA. They have had games with 3,000 of their 10,000-seater stadium. I've said this before. Caitlin Clark can go literally anywhere and she would fill it up. Like, if Caitlin Clark played a game in Ireland, let's say she went to the big...
Despite being one of the greatest players in the game, Bueckers' impact hasn't resulted in as much fame or ticket sales as Clark's. Clark has gained fame by consistently putting on shows that go viral online and drawing sizable crowds wherever she goes.
You gotta tell me, what do y'all not like about Caitlin Clark? Is it the media coverage? Do you not like that she complains after...
FAL? Because of her tremendous passion, she is not only a legendary basketball player but also a cultural icon. Court presence and long three-pointers. Despite her exceptional talent, Bueckers has not had the same gravitational pull, despite being a superb player who has led UConn with grace and ability. This disparity does not always represent Bueckers' character.
If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid.
However, the difference in their star power highlights the nuances of marketing and fan involvement in basketball. Clark's persona is characterized by flash and flair. She delivers moments that astound admirers and thrives in high-pressure situations. Even though she is skilled, Bueckers plays with a more controlled efficiency that doesn't produce the same amount of viral buzz.
I want y'all to tell me, what do y'all not like about Caitlin Clark? Is it the media coverage? Do you not like that she complains after foul calls like everybody else? What exactly is the reason why I see so much hate on social media and from WNBA players? All she's doing is bringing more attention to the game, and she's very skilled. Like, whenever I watch Iowa games, her teammates always got an open shot. Please explain to me.
Geno Auriemma has openly expressed his annoyance, emphasizing the necessity for supporters and the basketball community to unite behind his players, particularly one with the talent of Bueckers. Consequently, the question still stands as to why UConn's illustrious program, which has been associated with excellence for 10 years, has garnered more public attention than Bueckers' star. The current team's inability to attract large crowds seems to be a disconnect between their on-court prowess and their off-court influence.
Caitlin Clark, that would sell out in 10 minutes in Ireland. If Caitlin Clark played in the O2 Arena in England, 20,000, people from all over Europe will go to that and sell it out. Juju Watkins plays in Paris. The place is empty. She plays at home, there's 3,000. You go to Paige Bueckers, goes to the Bahamas, 500 people.
All eyes will be on Bueckers and UConn's reactions as the season progresses. Will players like Caitlin Clark continue to be favored in the narrative, or will they rise to regain their position in the spotlight? Auriemma and UConn are under more pressure because of this dynamic to find methods to highlight their team and rekindle the enthusiasm that once surrounds their program. These days, it's more than just wins and losses. Making moments that fans can relate to and remember why UConn basketball has always been unique is the goal. Geno Auriemma will surely continue to fight to ensure that his team gets the recognition it deserves. However, the fight may be more difficult than ever given the direction women's basketball is taking.
I'd like for her to get more creative with the ball, you know? I think there's times when, we started the game with her making a great play, you know, on that bounce pass to Ice. And she's either all into throwing that a pass or all into I'm scoring no matter what. And there's got to be a little bit of a...
However, others are questioning whether the Clark comparisons are warranted as UConn's Paige Bueckers takes the court this season, especially considering that the attendance figures paint a completely different image and that we are positive that the Clark effect amplifies the sentiments more than any other. Last year, while she was employed at Iowa, Caitlin Clark was nothing short of extraordinary. All of the games sold out and had record-breaking attendance. Hours before tip-off, fans would crowd the arena to witness Clark's amazing performances, which elevated ordinary games to must-see events. Her bold passes, long three-pointers, and unflinching confidence made it impossible for basketball fans to miss her performances. However, Bueckers' approach is more methodical and subtle. Although she has exceptional basketball intelligence and court vision passing accuracy, her style lacks the ostentatious components that made Clark famous. While devoted basketball fans appreciate her skill, Bueckers hasn't captured the interest of general fans in the same manner. The euphoria around her performances doesn't translate into attendance records or sold-out venues.
But now, you ain't saying, she's playing really well. That ain't what you were saying then. Y'all know who I'm talking to. I ain't gonna call your name, but you know who you were. Caitlin Clark is the real deal. She can actually play at an elite level. Unanimous.
This discrepancy in emphasis also highlights the importance of character and narrative, which is a bigger problem in women's sports. Supporters could come together around Clark as more than just an athlete because of her fascinating and personable personality and fiery demeanor. Despite her extraordinary talent, Bueckers hasn't yet developed a public presence that is on par with UConn and their story program. The team will need to find a way to revive the fan base and remind them why UConn has been a powerhouse for decades as Geno Auriemma's attendance is declining. Bueckers, in the meantime, has the admirable task of escaping Clark's shadow and proving that she is a star in her own right rather than the next Caitlin Clark.
Many people watched the Iowa-Connecticut game. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. 14 million people. Man, that's young Sheldon numbers.
As the season goes on, the similarities will undoubtedly persist, but Bueckers has the opportunity to pave her own path. She may or may not be able to infuse UConn with the same kind of energy and enthusiasm. However, after everything is in order, Caitlin Clark's level is unachievably high when she talks about increasing the bar. You can agree with me that developing into a great basketball player is never simple. Furthermore, questions are already being raised about Paige Bueckers' route to the WNBA. The transition from college to the WNBA requires more than simply skill for a player like Bueckers, whose style is centered on beauty. It also requires resilience, strength, and the ability to handle the physical strain of competing against the best athletes in the world. Basketball intelligence and on-court vision. The problem still exists. Is she ready? Despite her brilliant moments this season, some observers think Bueckers hasn't yet demonstrated that her body can handle the demanding physicality of professional basketball. They list games in which she struggled against more aggressive players or was outmuscled. Before she recovered from a severe knee injury that kept her out of play for a whole season, Bueckers had to deal with these questions. Proponents contend that the WNBA will simply exacerbate these issues.
They're kind of the bedrock of sports talk, so I'm never going to get mad at them or get tired of talking about them. I mean, I think LeBron James and Michael Jordan will probably be debated for the rest of eternity. In the women's basketball world, it's now everybody who's next with Caitlin Clark.
After a recent game, even the well-known UConn coach Geno Auriemma voiced his displeasure with his team's overall performance rather than Bueckers in particular. When Auriemma expressed his frustration with the team's lack of strength and effort, he didn't mince words. However, his comments hinted at a more significant concern. How can his players, especially his star guard, manage the physical demands at this time? Because Bueckers has always been the type of player who lets her play speak louder than the criticism, her doubts may seem familiar. However, it will take more than just her trademark fluid jump shoot or no-look passes to make the transition to the WNBA. To adapt to a quicker, more physical game and prove that she is more than simply a collegiate standout, she will need to build physical resilience.
To come out in this year's draft. She has another year of eligibility. She can be a super duper senior.
Like, she can legitimately play until she is 24 years old. She can go and play at 24 years old. And you know what? She still wouldn't be as old as Sedona Prince.
She should not be chosen in this year's draft because she has another year of eligibility. As a rookie, Bueckers will face challenges from opponents who will push her to the limit and from critics who will continue to question whether she is ready for the WNBA. She has time to mature though, and is in the ideal setting to do so with a coach like Auriemma encouraging her. The women's basketball scene has always been a hotbed of potential, and Geno Auriemma has years of experience spotting a star. The true question is not whether she can handle the WNBA, but rather how far she'll go once she gets there. Supporters of Geno and UConn are beginning to face a tough reality as the season progresses and the similarities between Bueckers and Iowa's Caitlin Clark become inevitable. Paige Bueckers, a player who contributed leadership and talent to UConn's prestigious program, was considered his crown gem. Paige Bueckers might not be the transcendent star they initially believed her to be when contrasted with Caitlin Clark's undeniable vitality.